Okay, in this short tutorial we'll actually demonstrate how to support multiple languages in JSF based web applications and how to use the message bundles. Actually, through the message bundles, JSF provides internationalization support in JSF based web applications. So how? Okay, I have an article in my website computer.justetc.net, and this is the article using message bundles in JSF. This article will not be always here, so I'm just searching using message bundles in JSF. Okay, this is the stuff. So we are telling that JSF supports multiple languages or internationalization through the message bundles. What are the message bundles? Actually, message bundles are some text files, and they contain some keys and corresponding values for those keys. And we will have to support multiple languages. You will have multiple message files. We also call them as property files. So for each language, they will contain a key and corresponding value. I think it will be almost the same key, but the value will be different in different languages. So when we create the web interface, what we do in the value field or the message we want to display, in those places we do not write the exact string or address exact value. We rather provide some keys in those places. So when the application is loaded, the key is replaced with the values. Actually, the key is matched with the properties file or message files, and corresponding values are retrieved and placed in the web pages. And I think based on the current language as provided by the browser or operating system or your application, it goes to the appropriate properties file, appropriate language properties file, and grabs those value and replaces the keys with those values. So here is the sample of the content of a message file. So we say this is the key and this is the value. So for each language we will have multiple files having similar, where the keys will be same but the values will be in a different language. And how to use it from the JSP page? Actually, first you need to load those message bundles into the JSP page before you are able to make use of them. So using the load bundle tag, JSF tag, we are loading it into the JSP page, and we are telling that their location will be here. Actually, they will be in the directory hierarchy under JSF file. Under JSF folder, there will be many properties file like messages underscore en, messages underscore es, this kind of stuffs. And we are referring this bundle with messages msgs. And in the JSP page, we are actually mentioning it like this. This is one of the output controls, and we are referring to the order button.text. I think this key, and this is coming for this. So in this output text will be actually replaced with confirm order. And one more thing to notice, that in the configuration file we also have to tell what are the different languages we support in our application. So let's take a look at an example. So this is the one. At this moment the Internet Explorer language is set to Spanish, so this is coming from, this is just Spanish. It may not be the right word in Spanish. Just I put some arbitrary text here. So from tools, options, so we see that Spanish is the default language. Now I am making English as the default language. So this is converted to English again. We are changing the language again to Spanish. So the default language is Spanish now. It is changing to Spanish again. So we can better take a look at the application now. Here is the application. Okay, first actually the message files I put under SR source net just etc JSF, and these are the message files. And though in JSP page we are referring the package to net and just etc JSF, we don't need messages folder, we just need to put under JSF folder. That should work fine. And this is the output text that is taking messages head. So we just see this is the head, and for the Spanish this is the head value, so it is coming from there. And in the config XML file we see there is a application. We are just telling what are the different languages we will be supporting in our application. So default local is English and the supported language is Spanish. So I think that's mostly all what we have to notice. And one thing, though I have placed the properties files under src folder and that in the class directory hierarchy, but you need to be place them under the classes folder under webinf classes. They should be there. And in the deployment you really don't need this src folder. We just keep the source folder here and we just compile so that the class files go under the classes folder. Just generated class files will go to the class folder, and all the other files, properties files, those will be copied to classes folder. So you just need to copy it and then paste it under Tomcat web apps that we are using for our application server. You can just paste it here, it should work fine. So if we just see it here, classes, so these are the property files, and we see that we don't have that src folder, and we just checked in the Internet Explorer that the application is running. So I will be providing this application, the source package, as part of the article, so you can just download and play with it. And you really don't need to use Eclipse for the testing purpose. You can just copy it somewhere, and you can use the simple Java compiler, JavaC compile, to compile those class files, Java files. You just need to deploy it under the Tomcat, and the build file is also there if you want to use it. So you can also make use of this build.xml. You can even deploy it from here. You can call the deploy. Maybe we're telling main here, compile. You can say compile var and deploy. I think the var and deploy portion will work okay, but if not, you just need to have do some simple modification. That should be good enough for your purpose. And we define all the source directory and build directory right here. So that's about it. Good luck. I hope you will be able to use to provide support for multiple languages in your web applications.